So prior to filming this clip, I'd been flying without the camera, and as you can see here, it's a bit overcast. We've lost the thermal lift, so it's quite usual here, particularly on a good thermal day as it had been earlier on, just to pop the wing up from the road. Because you've got the gap between the two hills, any breeze coming up here tends to swing round and be channelled directly through. So, quite common. Pop the wing up here, bounce it back just a little bit. There's quite a nice wee slope. Wait till there's a wee touch of thermals and take off from the road or from the grass next there. Off to the right of the camera, the slope increases. This bit you can see I've just speeded up. So you could normally fly from any of these points and fly along, but today, as there wasn't too much lift, I was using the wing and the wind by stepping slightly the wrong way to track me along the path line up the hill. At various times at various points with just enough lift off to maybe hop along or to do the full flight. This one was much longer distance wise and just waiting for the right moment and then off. Now, as you'll see on the camera, there's a bit where I'm pointing out front, sort of indicating spiral. That's where I can see birds starting to thermal up, and 20, 30, there that's pointing it, and taking off, heading round to where the sun's on the face and the top of the hill, and to work what thermal I can. As you can see, I've just left this bit speeded up. Unedited, this would have been about a 25-minute clip, and I've cut it down to just over 10 minutes. And usual spot in to land. And again repeating, using the wing, having stepped the wrong way, getting it to take me up the path. I'm looking for the various options, so it's difficult to tell when it's speeded up like this, but you're often standing there for 30 seconds a minute and then it just feels right, off you go. And as always, both while you're on the ground waiting to take off, particularly with the wing above you, and as you'll see here, once you're in flight, even when you know there's no other pilots flying, keep checking the airspace. And don't forget that the camera viewpoint, despite being a relatively wide angle, is nothing like as wide as your eyes. So there, you're not just looking round to the right, I'm looking round behind me. Back at takeoff, I'm looking above at the same time, same as you looking ahead. And one thing to remember is on this beat, if there's somebody taking off from the other end of the hill, which a bit more sunny, the bit they've been overflying, they would have a slight downwind component, so the ground speed would be higher, and under the conventional rules of the aircraft braking right, I would be having to brake out from the hill. So you also want to be looking ahead, because somebody could walk up from the road, go up the east face of this hill, where the sun is, round onto the nose, they could take off there and come flying down to you. Now, while I've got the sun behind me, I would be able to see them fairly easily. They could be flying into the sun. Okay, fair enough, it's shaded here, but you can be flying at the sun and certainly have a restricted visibility when they're on the fast downwind beat. So, very, very important, constantly, from day one training, pilots should be practicing, learning, reinforcing to keep checking the airspace all the time.